me. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear.
Bailey got hurt and stuff.
What?
Yeah, we kind of texted her. She's on her Friday. So hopefully she's okay. And I said, she said she was
All right, folks, are we ready to get started?
Yeah.
All right, if you could all stand for the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, would you like to call the roll, please, Sam?
Carrie Arbogast. Here. Megan Dreher. Here. Jen Pike.
Here.
Diane Page.
Here.
Roy Sherman.
Here.
Nita Southworth.
Lena, are you on the phone? Did we lose her?
Jean Stone. Here. Kelly Twilliger.
Here.
Mark Bertel.
It's funny because I was watching it on Facebook thing, and it's too late.
Sorry.
All right.
That's okay.
Roll call, Lena, you're here.
Lena?
She doesn't have good service.
She might not. Hello?
You hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
all right.
All right.
Third time, roll call, Lena Southworth.
We'll call that a hearing. All right. Here. Thank you. All right. Has everybody had the opportunity to review the minutes? Is there any additions or corrections?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. All right. Do we have any public participation this evening? Nita?
It was critical that I can drop my mask while I'm here. You can't, I'm 6 feet, okay. I'm just here this evening to ask what the most current plan for next Wednesday's senior graduation is going to be, because during the course of the last 3 or 4 days, I think we're on the 85th version of the rumor mill of 9th degree. And for the most part, senior parents that are seated here tonight, it would be nice for us kind of to get a gist of where we're going next Wednesday.
Yes, so at this particular point, and we're all crossing our fingers that the weather is nice, we are going to have chairs set up out in the parking lot where the teachers normally park. And we'll have it like last year where the kids were walking under the awning in front of the high school. We decided on 8 tickets per student. We felt that we would have enough chairs for everybody involved, and that would give us enough. We're also, if somebody has more than that, and there aren't seats, that they could also sit in their cars, we'll project it over that FM transmitter like we did last year, and we're also gonna put it on Facebook like we did last year? Facebook or YouTube, Aaron?
Probably Facebook.
Okay, so that's the plan for that. Now, the piece that we're working on right now, we had discussed at the time of our meeting last week about what happens if the weather is not cooperative with us. And so we're still working on those pieces to see what we can do. Because I know I got bombarded a lot today with some concerns.
Right.
So we've got the plan down for what we're doing outside. We're working on if it has to be inside, what we're gonna do.
So am I brave enough to ask, or are you brave enough to answer what those pieces might be? Like, what are those options aside from us sitting in our vehicles in the rain?
So what we're looking at is either we're looking at the gymnasium, and we're also looking at the auditorium. The auditorium, we could not have as many people. The issue is that it takes a lot to break that stage down, from what Mark tells me. I didn't realize that. I just thought it came apart pretty easily, but I didn't realize that. And we have Turkey Bowl and Spring Fling the next day. And so trying to get all of those pieces down, and we have some ground staff that won't be here the next day to kind of get those down. And so we're trying to work out what we can do. So
Okay.
those are the options at this particular point.
And so the option of being in the gym that now can hold 550 people, because we're at 50% indoor capacity, would actually allow more seating than the outdoor capacity would on a nice day. I mean, 45 kids times 8 doesn't bring us to 550.
Right.
And so I guess if I can get through this without like completely melting down in front of everybody that's here tonight, I think that when you get down to the nitty gritty in the next day or two and you're looking at what choice you're going to make, think about a couple of things, because I talked to myself in my vehicle on my way here to make it sound like I was practicing so that I didn't melt down when I got here. Think about a couple of things. This is the last memory that our school is going to give these kids. And I don't want it to be in a car in a parking lot. I don't think that they do either. I think as their last hurrah, we sure owe that part that we could somehow make it work to go in that gym. I mean, I know that there are staff members in this building that I'm standing in, that if they were just asked to stay afterwards, they would break it down in a heartbeat and not even think twice about it. And I know that there are people at the high school that would probably do the same, but I can't speak on their behalf. But I can't imagine that we couldn't all like come together for that one common purpose of 45 kids and their families. I can't vision myself in my vehicle with my son and 3 other family members that we could cram in just as his last stand here, or as any of their last stands. Like, and that's you too, Jen, and it's Lori, and it's Carrie, and it's Mike, like, that's here tonight. And I think that we just can do better for them. Like, even if it means that we have to reroute that Turkey Bowl and that Spring Fling, this is all these kids have left. This is it. And I also want you to think too that it has been a year since our community, like the Falcon community, has been able to come together for something like this. Like 550 people in a gymnasium for their graduation. We haven't had that. We haven't. And it's available to us. And I just want to encourage us all when we're thinking about it to make that your choice. You know, I mean, I know it takes a lot to do the breakdown. I get it. Like, I get it. But I just think that that's something that we can do for them. Like, if we put our minds to it, we can do it. And I don't understand if there's hesitation for it.
We're trying to make all of these pieces work.
I know,
And
I know.
you know I'm right.
But I can't sit back and just let those pieces go without saying something. I mean, I've been in contact with people and I've tried to follow that red chain, but if I can't come tonight and talk about it so that everybody gets it, then I'm not doing my job as his parent either.
Sure.
I'm not, and so.
And you know, Carrie and Lori and I are all in the same boat.
I know, and so are 41 other families too, you know.
And we're trying to make it work for everybody. I want them to have the best
I do
graduation.
too. And the third thing that I'm gonna get to, and then I'll stop rambling about it, is maybe the kids should be asked. Like, this is their night, you know, I mean, I don't wanna make it a parent night. I know Carrie doesn't wanna do the same thing, like, it's not all about us, it's their night. Maybe that needs to be another piece of the puzzle that we're thinking about.
You know, when I've talked to the kids that have been at the house, and you know, there's always plenty of kids at my house. The kids, their first choice is outside. And so just trying to make that work outside and hoping the weather cooperates.
Right.
You know, and then our second option being, you know, moving it inside and how do we make this work the best?
Right.
And, you know, I'm right there with you. We want this to be the best that it can be, because, you know, I felt bad last year for graduation and, you know,
I know, but I think that those families felt like they were relieved and blessed at the same time, because that was really the only thing that they had. There was nothing else available to them. And there is something else available for us this year. And I think that this particular class has lost so much of their content of school in 15 months, and this has to be something that we can do for them.
I agree. And, you know, the other thing too is we want to be able to allow them to have, you know, spring sling and turkey bowl, and that was clearly conveyed to me by, like, we want turkey bowl kind of thing. So we just have to get all of those moving parts into place, and we're trying.
But are the seniors going to be part of the turkey bowl spring fling the next day, or no?
Yes.
They are.
Mhm.
So I wonder if they wouldn't opt to have turkey bowl like at 10 o'clock in the morning, so that we could get that gym taken care of for them the night before.
Well,
I mean, I'm just grasping at straws to do this.
I get it, and it's something that we can definitely take a look at, you know. You know, and plus there's, you know, prom 2 coming, so,
Right,
and
right.
hopefully Levi's gonna attend that, you know, they're working hard on
But
that.
I don't want it to be, that's not my intent about him. It's about those 45 kids.
I know. I do. Anybody else like to speak? Okay. All right, and we don't have any presentation this evening, correct? All right, board concerns. Okay, moving right along to the consent agenda. Is there any item that anyone would like to have pulled off of the consent agenda to vote on separately?
The only thing I'd like to add is that legislative trip is canceled for tonight and tomorrow, and it'll be next week that I'll be attending.
Next
So both sessions will be at the Capitol on the 24th. So we chose to move out there. There's going to be a big cyber charter school rally as well. So the timing of it's going to be absolutely perfect. It's just 1 week down the road. No other changes.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, would someone like to make a motion?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Oh, sorry, Lena, I forgot about you. I'll give you a second next time.
No worries.
Abstentions. Motion carries. All right, finance and purchase. Mark, will you take us down through that?
All right, I would like to lump items A through G together and prove that they be paid, so moved. Accept.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on items A through G? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item H, cafeteria report, Stacy.
Good evening. Our cafeteria report looks a little different this month, being as when I went back to look at the meals served last month, we were doing bagged lunches to sites, so there's not really an accurate number for anything there. So I just put what we had done in April, and you can see that we did 12,603 meals, 16 operating days, that's 787 meals per day. And you can see our reimbursement from federal and state and our student participation. Upcoming this week is a little crazy. We've got 6 field trips, 3 pizza parties, and a metric meet to take care of. It's a little crazy towards the end of the year, but it's so far so good. It's going very well. PSSA breakfast we did that we'd spoken about at the last meeting went over incredibly well at the elementary school. We went from serving about 176 breakfasts a day when we were able to do the hot and serving one-on-one. We were serving about 241 breakfasts a day. A little nuts, a little crazy. Didn't go as well over at the high school, didn't expect it would. Sleep in, breakfast. They chose still to sleep in. So we picked up about 20 kids a day up at the high school. So went over really well. We're really hoping that next year we can go back to more of a service line instead of the bag lunch, but so far so good, and just winding down to the end of the year.
Thank you. Item I, consideration to approve joining the Riverview Intermediate Unit Number 6 Guest Teacher Consortium at a cost of $625 through July 30th, 2022. Guest Teacher Consortium Board Resolution dated May 3rd, 2021, as attached. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item J, consideration to approve increasing the substitute teacher pay rates beginning with the 2021-2022 school year as follows. Day 1 through 19, $110 per day. Day 20 through 59, $120 per day. And day 60 plus would be $130 per day. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Lena, are you an aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Who got second?
Second was Diane.
Right.
Item K, consideration to approve the 2021-2022 All Access Membership Package with PSBA in the amount of $6,730.84. So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded, is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item L, consideration to approve the Allegheny Clarion Valley School District selection of the McClure Company for the proposal of Guaranteed Energy Savings Project. So moved.
Second?
Been moved and seconded, all those, any discussion?
Just wanted to let everybody know that Mark, Emmy, Andrew, and myself utilized the rubric and evaluated the one and only RFP submission that we had, and we are making a recommendation for the board to approve.
Okay. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item M, consideration to approve the Allegheny Clarion Valley District Board of Education approval of the Guaranteed Energy Savings Project with the McClure Company. The cost for this scope of work will not exceed $437,727, with a contingency of $55,000 for repairs of existing equipment. Final approval of the McClure Company's Guaranteed Energy Savings Contract is subject to solicitor review. So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded, any discussion?
Just a quick update on that as well. Zach does have the contract, he's reviewing it currently. And just keep in mind that the 437 plus the 55, that 55 could be tied into that project depending on what the engineers find whenever they're out working on the replacement of the HVAC system control.
Any other questions or discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Oh, thanks, Lena. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item N, consideration to approve the electric contract with Dynegy Energy for the year starting December 2021 through December 2024 for 36 months at a rate of 0.0544 cents per kilowatt hour for electric service to the district. So moved.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? I think we talked about this last week. I'm having a hard time remembering what you and I talk about versus what everybody talks about, but this, we want to get this locked in as the prices are increasing, correct? And so we want to get this locked in now so that, we catch it at as low a rate as possible.
I mean, I talked to the broker today, the rates are continuing to increase. We are locked in until tomorrow with the current price. So if we were to approve them, then we can execute the contract tomorrow. It's linked to natural gas with some of the tourism, some of the other summertime travel. It is a recommendation to lock into this agreement. Keep in mind that that is until December 2024 for the 36 months.
And this is a bit higher than what we have right now, but this is the current rate. Okay, and we've had ours we were locked into 24 months prior. Okay. Any other questions? All right, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item O, consideration to approve removing Emily Faust from the following accounts with Farmers National Bank of Emmleton, athletics, cafeteria, and scholarship. So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, so this is getting a little more real now that you're leaving us when we start taking off with stuff, just saying.
There's a grid behind that.
There is a grid behind that. All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item P, consideration to approve adding Andrea Stewart to the following accounts with Farmers National Bank, athletics, cafeteria, and scholarship. So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
On item Q, do I need to make, do we need to go over anything on this before I make this motion to approve this?
Well, you need to make the motion and have it seconded, and then we'll have Emmy talk.
Item Q, consideration to approve the preliminary 2021 through 2022 school budget as attached. So moved.
Moved and seconded. Emmy, you're right.
Okay, so I presented the preliminary budget on the workshop on May 10th, I believe it was. And since then, there's just been a very few additions to it. I put that at your table. So the current real estate change, it went down by $61. The public transportation, our solicitor, we got response from PDE. And I went back and made the revenue from the original transportation budget figures to $927,733, and the non-public transportation went to $15,015. So making those three changes, our revenue after the changes go to $15,094,467. And the revised expenditures, there were salary and benefits changed to fourth grade. I had originally had a fourth grade employee at a B7, and that employee is going to go to the math tutor. And so then we went back and changed it to a B1. So that was a savings of $15,044. And then we had an employee go from parent-child health benefits to a family. So that changed $4,054. So our total expenditures after the changes is $16,408,342. Our estimated dollar amount over budget is $1,313,875. So those changes were all made on the preliminary budget, and that's the budget that we're considering for bid tonight.
Okay, are there questions? Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. All right, thank you. Personnel, Kelly, will you do personnel?
Sure. Item A, consideration to retroactively approve the request from Wanda Mankulich, cafeteria worker, to use Friday, May 7th and Monday, May 10th as unpaid leave days. So moved.
Been moved and seconded, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item B, consideration to retroactively approve the request from Tim Quayle, custodian, to use Thursday, May 6th and Friday, May 7th of 2021 as unpaid leave days. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
All right, item C, consideration to approve the district secretary at 3 hours per day for 200 days per year job description as attached. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item D, consideration to hire Courtney Chalmers as a part-time 3 hour per day, 200 day per year district secretary upon receipt of all appropriate documentation, contingent upon a 60 workday probationary period and hourly rate of $15.38. Upon completion of the 60 workday period, the hourly rate will be $16.38. So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Okay, item E, consideration to accept the letter of resignation as assistant varsity cheerleading coach from Jada Collins dated April 15th, 2021 as attached. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item F, consideration to approve advertising for the vacated assistant varsity cheerleading position. So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item G, consideration to approve the request from employee number 334 for paid maternity leave with the baby due on or before August 21st, utilizing all emergency sick and personal days. Once all emergency sick and personal days are exhausted, requesting to use family medical leave until November 15th of 2021. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
H, consideration to approve advertising for a long-term elementary sub, K through 6, for the 2021-2022 school year. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
So that would be somebody you're just going to have here every day?
That'll fill in for the FMLA request. So,
I
yeah,
got
they'll be
Thank
here for the start of the school year.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Okay, letter I, consideration to approve the agreement between the Allegheny Clarion Valley School District and Key Solution Educational Staffing beginning July 1st of this year and ending June 30th, 2022 as attached. So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Remember, this is for our Director of Special Ed, for him to be here with us. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Okay, item J, consideration to approve the memorandum of agreement between the Allegheny Clarion Valley School District and the Allegheny Clarion Valley Education Association for the math coach position as attached. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Okay, consideration to approve transferring Trevor Heil as a temporary grant-funded elementary math coach beginning with the 21-22 school year. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Going along with that, item L, consideration to approve advertising for a temporary fourth grade teaching position based on grant funding for the 21-22 school year. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on this one? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Okay, item M, consideration to approve the statement of work instructional services for Allegheny Clarion Valley School District with Ingenuity Incorporated provider as attached. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Is there an objection if I lump N through Q together?
Feel free.
Thank you. So we're consideration to approve the request from the following people as volunteers for the district: Selena Petty, Rachel Brosnahan, Sarah Buzzard, Jared Ewer, to be volunteers with the district. So moved.
Second.
It's moved in second. And remember, these are the volunteers for the community garden piece. That's what they're doing. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Okay, consideration to retroactively approve the request from Angie Redmond, A, to use Thursday, April 22nd, Friday, April 23rd, and Friday, April 30th of 2021 as unpaid leave days. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Consideration to re-elect Tammy Thompson as school board secretary with the term beginning July 1st of 2021. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Now, this is a 4-year term, correct? Okay, just clarifying that. Okay, anything else? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Okay, item T, consideration to retroactively approve the request from Wanda Mankulich, cafeteria worker, to use Monday, May 17th, 2021 as unpaid leave day. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Consideration to accept the letter of resignation from Timothy Quill Jr. as a 3-hour part-day, part-time custodian dated May 14th, 2021. Tim's last day will be Friday, May 28th, 2021. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
And item B, consideration to advertise for the vacated 3-hour per day, part-time custodian position. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. All right, Carrie, will you do instructional services?
Sure. Lori, elementary report. My report tonight is kind of in the form of a final countdown here. And just to inform everybody of the things we have coming up. First of all, our field trips are underway. 5th grade actually had their field trip on Friday. And this year's field trips look a little different because of COVID. Mrs. Orton and Mrs. Butler actually had the creative idea to do sort of staycation type field trips at our local parks, Hughes Park and the Parker Park, and the other grades have joined in. And one grade is actually going to stay here on campus and use our campus for their field trip. So we have one every day the rest of this week, and then the final one next week. And our thanks to the PTO for funding those, paying for the buses and some of the food that goes along with them. Then on Friday, the 21st, we will have our annual metric meet here at the high school. with our 5th and 6th grade students. The event will be in high school track as usual, and families are welcome to attend. We are encouraging everyone to practice their social distancing at all times, and also encourage them to bring a blanket or chair to sit on, as we do have 61 6th graders, so the bleachers will be pretty full with students and their teachers. We did send a letter home with all 5th and 6th, or with the 6th graders this week, and a all-call message also went out. If anybody has questions about the metric meet, they're free to call the elementary office and we'll answer your questions. On May 26th, we will hold our 6th grade recognition ceremony. We will be doing that here in the cafeteria, beginning at 1:30. Each student will be permitted 2 guests, and Mark and I have figured out how we will pair up the chairs here in the auditorium. The students will be on the stage as they usually are. The guests will be required to follow our protocol here in the building, so they will need to wear a mask and remain masked when they enter. And we will also be live streaming the event. I had talked with Aaron, and we're going to be able to do that, so anybody who wants to watch remotely can attend as well. On May 27th, PTO will be hosting their fun day. This will look a little different this year because of COVID. We are not inviting the students' families in. The day will be strictly for the students. But PTO has a lot of indoor and outdoor activities planned. So I'm sure that will be as much fun as it always is. On our last day of school, May 28th, I would like to remind everyone there is a 3.5-hour early dismissal, which dismisses the elementary at about 11:20. June 1st and 2nd, here at the elementary, we will have kindergarten registration. An all-call went out to the families of those pre-registered, and there is a link on both our website and our Facebook page for families to sign up for a time that they would like to attend kindergarten registration. Any family who is unable to do that or is having difficulty can call the elementary office, and Megan or I can help you through that process. And then I think lastly, we have been working on our summer school program here at the elementary. We have 12 dates planned in the month of June. The first week will be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and the following 3 weeks will all be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Students will attend from 9 to 11. And the teachers who have volunteered to help with, or not volunteered, who will be helping with the program have begun to meet, and we are compiling a list of students based on teacher recommendations and the data we have compiled from their local testing to develop a roster. We are looking to have a roster of about 20 to 25 kids so that we have 5 to 6 kids per teacher. The plan is to do skills and project-based learning combined. They will spend a portion of the day on the sort of skill and drill type things, and then also have a theme each week that the project-based learning will be built around. We will hopefully be finalizing that list by the end of the day tomorrow so that we can start making calls to families to cement who can attend and who cannot, so that we can get our roster built. And I think that's it in the next 9 days.
How many kids did we get pre-registered for kindergarten?
42, I believe was the last.
So I'm just so Lena knows, Carrie asked how many kids have been registered so far for kindergarten, and 40 said 42.
Oh, wow.
That's good. I mean, before you even have registration, that's a good number.
Yeah, we usually pick up 6 to 10 through the summer. At the August registration date, we get a few more.
Good.
All right, secondary report.
At the high school, the next 2 weeks are also going to be extremely busy as we close out the school year. I encourage everybody to look at the district calendar for any events that are ongoing and in case there are changes to those events. Just a couple of highlights on that calendar, looking it over this week. On Wednesday at 7 o'clock, we have the junior senior high choral concert. Next week, we have graduation practice for seniors on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning. And of course, the Spring Fling Turkey Bowl combination on the 27th, with the last day of school being the 28th. We started Keystone testing today at the high school. That should be over next Tuesday. We will be doing makeups on Wednesday for any students that may have missed portions of that testing. And that will actually close out mandated testing, thank goodness, for this school year. The senior trip concluded last night at about midnight. I think that the students had an enjoyable trip. There were no issues at all to report. And I want to make sure that I add publicly that Mrs. Rothen and Mrs. Farrington and Mr. Rothen as our nurse did a fantastic job of running a wonderful trip for the kids. I think that that's something that a lot of students will never, ever do again in their life. We do have district track this Friday. We have a couple of students that should easily qualify for states at that meet, which will be held actually next Friday. And so we wish those students the best of luck and hopefully without any injuries at all. I wanted to also report that we are still planning summer school at the high school. We are going to focus on grades 7 and 8, and it's going to be project-based, but lean heavily on math, science, and ELA. I'm working with 2 teachers currently. We are going to be discussing this week actually what that looks like. And the idea being that we want it to be fun, enjoyable, but yet to be able to learn something. We want to try to get as many students that qualify to be able to come to summer school. We don't want them to not enjoy coming because I know that summer offers a lot of things that could be something other than coming back to school. And that concludes my secondary report. Thank you.
All right, consideration to approve the proposed environmental science class for grades 10 through 12 as attached. So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded, is there any discussion?
Do we know how many, I guess, has it been out for scheduling yet for students?
It is, we're still trying to tweak that particular piece right there because we had to move some other classes around. It could be anywhere from 9 kids to 22. depending on what we do.
Any other questions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Federal programs?
The Federal Grant Committee met on Thursday, May 13th. Carrie Longo had attended the PAFPC conference, and she was reporting back to the committee on some areas that we need to prepare for because we will be monitored next year. She did not receive the Title I or the Title IIA and Title IV allocations for the 21-22 school year yet, but was told they were forthcoming. Our next meeting will be on Thursday, May 27th. And that concludes my report.
All right.
I mean, I know that they are usually later in the year, but this seems like it's awfully late for them to give the allocation amounts.
We normally have it from this meeting.
Right.
And they had talked about it at the meeting, but did not give the allocations out. So I guess we're still waiting for this.
That's so helpful.
Yeah. So in the preliminary budget, I budgeted what we are receiving this year. Okay. Until, maybe between now and June, we'll get the new revenue and I'll put the new ones in.
Okay.
Has that fluctuated much every year?
No, it hasn't. But we have lost,
We'll just say if anything, it drops.
yeah, it has dropped.
Any other questions for Emmy? All right, David, district report?
Thanks, Karen. I'll start off with just an overview of next week's legislative trip. We will be going out there because both the House and Senate's in session, and there is a rally at the Capitol for charter school reform. So the timing will be perfect. We have meetings scheduled for the 24th with 12 legislators. We'll be breaking out into groups of 2 and sharing with them various talking points. Most importantly, we'll be talking to Representative Longetti, who's the director of the House Committee for the Education Department. Other legislative news, the homeschool bill was amended. That's House Bill 1041. And it's the bill that permits homeschool students to attend the Career Center. Pursuant to the policies and procedures of the school residency, students must comply with all of those regulations. And the good thing for the school district is with the amended piece of legislation is that students will be counted into our average daily membership for the time that the students spend at the Career Center. Students may utilize the district transportation as well. So that bill continues to move, and it was amended since I last discussed it. House Bill 1014, that's just, they put in front of the committee to provide guidance to school board directors so that everybody has their background clearances before they take their office. Not sure if there's any traction or not with that. Senate Bill 73, that's a school mandate waiver program. This is something that we're all strongly in favor of and been advocating for years. This program will permit public schools to apply for a waiver to eliminate some of the imposed mandates. And keep in mind that a lot of these mandates are unfunded and they're very difficult to continue to ensure that they're in place. And any kind of mandate relief will take. There's also Senate Bill 664 out there, the optional year for education. This bill would allow parents to opt to have their child repeat a grade level in the 21-22 school year due to COVID. There's a lot of discussion about that and clarification needed for the school district. A little bit about the state budget. Rumors are that there's a 2-year budget discussion going on right now with funding. We're not sure if there's any traction behind that or not, but that's relatively interesting. And as of right now, the state revenue for the month of April has been $4 billion. That's 0.7% more than anticipated. Overall for the year, the state has picked up 4.2% more than expected. School funding, there's going to be a press conference next week. There will be members of PESers and number of school districts participating on that. So we should have a little bit of guidance moving forward. An update on COVID. As we all are aware, the Wolf administration in coordination with the COVID vaccine joint task force has announced mitigation orders. That's been lifted except for masking at this time until 70% of residents in Pennsylvania 18 or older are fully vaccinated. And I know there's a lot of discussions how this impact public education. Right now, there's an option that we could get in there, modify our health and safety plan and return to play plan, but the CDC does not recommend that. The CDC is recommending that school districts across the country continue to mask, social distance, and wash hands through the end of the year. And they have 2 main reasons behind that. One is students are not fully vaccinated in the 2021 school year. And secondly, school districts must adjust their policies and procedures to adhere to those expectations. So my recommendation, even though everybody's frustrated with the mask, is that we continue on until the end of the year. Once we're provided more guidance, and they said that guidance will be provided to school districts before the beginning of the 21-22 school year. So we got to keep everything the same. It's working here at AC Valley. And I'll finish off, Carrie, with a little bit of community news. The AC Valley team met on April 28th at 7 o'clock, and a number of school board members were here. It was a very robust conversation. We had a number of presenters. There were roughly 40 people here. We had an art project, and we also had a logo that was created by Marissa Fisher. So the meeting scheduled for the end of May. We'll have our meeting number 2 on May 27th, and we'll continue to promote the local area and generate some business in the area, as well as trying to get more community members moving into the AC Valley School District. I did send out the school perceptual data survey. I'm going to meet with Joe Rensel from the IU tomorrow to review some of that data, and I'll be sure to share it out with the school board, and then also use it in grant writing moving forward. And then finally, the community garden kickoff was on Saturday, May 15th, and we were up at the garden, and if you have a minute before you leave today, drive through and take a look. There's a number of raised beds. There's been a lot of donated items. There was $400 that was sent through the online crowdfunding, and then $450 sent through local businesses. So we had a really nice kickoff, and we did ribbon cutting. And I'd like to thank Warren Thompson. He was up there from Victory Farms and did a little donation. He's going to be a continued supporter of the district and the community garden. So Selena and the Oil Region Alliance would like to thank the school board again for the support on the project. And that concludes my report.
We have a police report.
I did 35 exterior building checks, students 31 times, checked cameras status 35 times, interior checks 35, lunch details 33, foot patrols 114, direct traffic 20 times, assist administration 19 times. We had 2 walk-down drills, 1 at each high school, 1 at the elementary, and 1 safety.
Consideration to approve the addendum to the athletic handbook communication protocol for coaches/parents dated April 19th, 2021 as attached. So moved.
Second. Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Consideration to approve the memorandum of understanding between the Allegheny Clarion Valley School District and the Allegheny Clarion Valley First Program effective May 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022 as attached. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. All right, so we don't have any policy tonight, correct?
Nope.
And facilities, Mark isn't here, so we won't have a report on that. All right, transportation, Janine, will you do that?
Sure. Item A, consideration to approve the request from Kelly Stavanis to replace a 2015 Kia with a 2021 Kia Sorento. So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Lena?
Sorry.
That's okay. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item B, consideration to approve the 2020-2021 AC Valley van contract with Kelly Stavanis for a 2021 Kia Sorento as attached. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. All right, miscellaneous. Diane, will you go down through that?
Sure. We have the Career Center report.
Not much. Last one was mainly about the budget. Those were the main talking points. That's about it. And that's on here for approval tonight.
Consideration to approve the 2021-2022 Clarion County Career Center proposed budget and Clarion County Career Center Board resolution on 2021-2022 budget as attached. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. And I think you all have these papers at your seats. If you would please fill those out and get them to Tammy before the end of the evening, that would be helpful.
We have an IU report. I guess there's minutes attached.
Anything of significance, Lena, from the IU?
Only that the learning lab space is getting stuck, which is pretty exciting. They're moving around a couple classrooms. I think they said they're moving 4 classrooms in EI. They pulled 3 classrooms back in. And that they're looking for a long-term substitute senior custodian for the summer for $10 an hour, if you know anybody that'd be interested.
Okay. Great, thank you.
Is there any correspondence?
I don't think we have any correspondence this evening.
Technology committee update?
We haven't had a meeting since the last board meeting. Our meeting is actually going to be on Wednesday, the 19th. So we'll have one on Wednesday. We'll report back next month.
Do we have an athletic committee update?
Carrie or Janine, were you guys on that
We
meeting?
had a meeting Tuesday night. Trying to think back. I don't remember there being too much of
No changes.
significant. Yeah, I mean, there was a few things that we discussed. Just how spring sports are going right now, transportation,
Possible soccer co-op with
Oh.
Keystone.
yeah, soccer coat with Keystone. I can't remember anything else.
Okay, thank you. Consideration to approve the athletic cooperative agreements with the Union School District for the following: coordination of bands, cross-country, junior high football, varsity, junior varsity football, and golf for the 2021-2022 school year as attached. So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on these agreements?
Just to clarify, that's nothing new. It's what we've already had. We're just updating the agreements.
We are, and the one piece, junior high football was on a different year, so we're putting them all in the same year so we can just approve them all in one. There really was not anything of significance to update. So I think that there was just some clarification on the number of home games that we would have, and home football games that we would host and home football games that Union would host at their school. Other than that, I don't think that there was anything. Our meeting was very good with them. Megan attended, Jameen was there, Jameen wasn't there.
Diane.
Carrie was, oh yes, Diane was there. And it went very well. I was pleasantly surprised. And really what it came down to was that we just need to ensure that our communication is consistent and, that we're really paying attention to that moving forward. And, so that was really the big piece that came out of it.
And those some games, like Jen said, they flip flop each year. Union will have 3 next year, we'll have 2 next year, and then 3 at AC Valley the following year, and 2 at Union. So it'll just continue to go back.
I noticed they changed the wording on the amount of coaches, stuff like that.
Yeah, they did. We did talk about that. Thank you for bringing that up. We did talk about that because, we've had the conversation here about how many is too many coaches. And they're having that conversation on their side as well. So, we had a discussion about that to really make sure that we don't have more coaches than kids. I mean,
Does that include volunteers, Jen, or just hired
Yes.
positions?
no, volunteers as well. Because it gets to be too much and, if you're spending all your time managing personnel, then you're not spending your time coaching kids. So we just want to make sure that, we're communicating those pieces back and forth about, the volunteers that we're allowing and that they're allowing so that we don't overload it.
I think we had that influx of volunteer applications last year just because people wanted to attend games, period.
Probably, yeah.
We really wanted to see their kid play, so
Yeah.
we wanted to be a volunteer coach.
I think that's right.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Yeah, and the only other thing,
Thank you.
the only other thing that I can really think of that was of major importance was that they are instituting a, I don't know what you call it, a discipline process, I guess, for their coaches. And, if it gets to the point, they will ban someone from being on their campus. I don't think it's really much different than what we have because we can ban people from being on campus as well. So our major concern was that they didn't go through this process without alerting us to that fact. Again, back to that communication piece. And I think that they were clear that we were clear with them that if it was one of the coaches that we hire or one of our volunteers, we needed to know that ahead of time so that we could work together to try to correct any situations that arose. So we tried to be clear about that. Anything else those of you that were there can think of? No, I think
Communication
that's,
and just kind of addressing issues as they arise, those were the big points, I think.
yeah. And they said, we were talking about, addressing issues, and they said sometimes they have exit interviews every year with their coaches because they rehire their coaching staff every year. So they said sometimes they don't get information about incidents until that exit interview, which is why they didn't bring some issues up until the end of that season because they just didn't know about it until those exit interviews occurred.
We have a finance committee update.
Wait a minute, did we vote on that? I don't think we did. Did we vote?
No, we didn't.
Okay. Any other questions or concerns about that with the agreements with union? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Okay.
Do we have a finance committee update?
Yeah, we just, Corey and I got brought up to speed because we couldn't make the original one, so we came in at 5 today, early class. We went over some of the adjustments that has been made with the budget, some of the changes that Ken brought up tonight. We went over all the different insurance plans from the consortium that all the schools belong to and the prices and stuff like that. And I'm trying to go with the third one.
We just reviewed contracts with the meet and discuss group.
So those will be coming up here. Other than that, Corey, did you want to add anything to that?
I think you got it all work.
Yeah.
Gives it.
That budget.
It's a killer. Okay, great. Thank you. Any old business? Just something I want to remind folks about that, I forgot under board concerns, I'm sorry, is that on this Thursday, if you have the opportunity, PSBA has the All School Directors webinar, and I believe that's at noon or 12:30. If you're able to make it, please feel free to attend that, and I'm going to try to as well. So if you're able to, you can find that information in the PSBA newsletters, those daily bulletins they put out, or on my PSBA, your website.
And
Yes.
I have one thing, the PTO funding, I forgot to mention that our STEAM team is looking for donations of aluminum foil, newspaper, masking tape, and plastic drinking straws for the booth that they're running at Fun Day. That list is on our Facebook page, and they need those donations by Monday, May 24th. I just forgot that in my report.
Okay, you said aluminum foil, masking tape, or drinking straws?
Aluminum foil, newspaper, masking tape, and plastic drinking straws.
Okay. One other piece that I had as well that I just wanted to throw this out as folks, as we are, looking at substitutes, looking at teachers for various positions. RJ gets a PSA or PSEA bulletin that comes out monthly, I believe. And this information came directly from PDE. But just to tell you what we're facing in terms of teacher shortages from PDE comes directly. There has been a 33% drop in the number of college students completing teacher prep programs between 2013 to 14 and 2018 to 19. That's a huge drop, huge drop. And there has been, in that same time frame, from 2012 to 2013, between 2012 to 2013 and 2019 to 2020, there has been a 73% drop in the number of level 1 instructional certificates issued in Pennsylvania. So what that means is that we're not hiring teachers that are staying long enough to get through that mentor process to get that level 1 instruction. 73%. That is huge, folks. So thank you very much for approving that increase for the subpay, because we have to keep attracting people and competing with the other schools in our area. Because if we don't do something, this is going to get very difficult as we move forward. It's been difficult. We've seen that, and these numbers show why we're seeing what we're seeing. So just keep that in your mind as we move forward with substitutes and contracts and all of those pieces. It's very difficult right now out there. Okay. Any new business? All right. Do we need an executive session? Okay, perfect. Would somebody like to adjourn us?
Make a motion. Adjourn.
I'll second that.
Mark, and second, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you all very
Thank you,
much.
folks. Have a great night.
Thanks, Lena.